Well, hello. I am trying to fix my light. It is not working correctly, so just give me a second. Give me 1 second. I have one light that does not like to connect to the Wi-Fi. There it is. We're good now. So good, so good, so good. How are you doing today? We're having so much fun. That volume's just a little bit loud for me, but I'm glad everybody's here. I've just been finishing up some stuff today so we can start my next project, which this obviously is. This is my Rust. Well, we should do that today before we get started. I've been trying to do practice with Rust, and I'm definitely falling behind, but there we go. I found this really, really nice thing. What is it? It's a thing. It's it's a book with quizzes in it, so that I can do quizzes as I go. It's really nice. Yeah, I do want to participate because I really like this. I was somewhere over here. So let's go through one of these sections just to say we did it, especially as, and see if we can do the quizzes. Uh-oh. Oh, looks like I'm going to... I can't do... Did I sign up for that? I can't do March 10th. There we go. Yeeps. Gotta love this. You really gotta love. Not checking your calendar before you sign up to do things, which is what I do all the time. Literally all of the time. I cannot help myself but to not check my calendar, be like, hey, that's something I want to do, and then, you know, 2 days before the event. Oh my goodness. I forgot. I can't do that. 'Cause, you know. Okay. You should be good to go. Okay, so variables mutability. I think I already did this quiz on my iPad, but we might as well go through it. As mentioned, the storing a variables section by default variables are immutable, which is interesting that you have to put the mutable thing. So let's go ahead. I think I read it, so let's see if we can start it. The statement best describes what it means if a variable is immutable. X is stored as immutable region of memory. You can do that. X cannot be changed after being assigned a value. Yes. After being defined, X can be changed at most once. No, it's that one. What keyword is used after let to indicate that a variable is mutable? That is MUT, mute. I assume it's pronounced mute. Okay, does this compile? Now this is I always am caught on these does it compile questions. So, determine whether a program will pass a compiler. If it passes, the expected output of the program were executed. Let x equal 1. No, there's no mutable there, so it does not compile. Correct. I remembered. Okay. Constants are like that with capital letters. Should we try this quiz? Which of the following statements is correct about the difference between let and const and declare a variable? The compiler will arrow if a const variable's name is not using upper snake case. No, that's not true. They are just different syntaxes for declaring variables with the same semantics. Const can only be assigned an atomic constant, not an expression. Yes, it can't be an expression. How do I pronounce SQL? Artificial? Artificial? I pronounce it SQL. I've always pronounced it SQL. I don't know why. I don't say SQL. The quizzes are super helpful though. Artificial. Yeah. They're super helpful. I really like them because otherwise how am I supposed to know if I understand what's going on? No, that will not work because it's an expression. What? Then what was it? See the correct answers. Oh, it can be an expression? Oh, they literally have an expression right there. Duh. It does compile and the output is 2. I do not say squeal, no. I say SQL. Okay. Like I said, I read this before, so I just wanted to take the quiz real fast just to say that I did practice my Rust today. Determine whether the program will pass the compiler. If it passes, what's the expected output? Let mute x dot int 32 x equal x. This is a shadow of the original x where you do that new one, but it's going to print the original one. So yes, it does compile, but I think it only prints out 1. Mute x1 equals hello world. No, that doesn't compile because you're not shadowing and the types don't match. What, did I exit? Oh no, I was right. Yay, I did it. Cool. So today's my first day doing GraphQL in Go ever. Talked about it, I've thought about it, I've dreamt about it, never done it. And if all goes well, then I'll have a new lightning talk. Or something else. Who knows? Who knows what I'll create out of this. Oh, I should lock my chair. There we go. Now I can sit back and relax and have my mic up here. Welcome, introduction to GraphQL. Do I know what GraphQL is? I don't need to upgrade. Cheers. PI in terms of server. There's nothing here. This is not an intro to GraphQL. This is you being dumb. Querying with GraphQL, basic query, event query, example of pagination with GraphQL. The Python implementation of GraphQL is not your favorite, or GraphQL in general is not your favorite? I'm assuming you're saying the Python one you've been using is not your favorite. I know there is a Go GraphQL library that I am clearly going to have to use. It's been around for a while. So I think we'll be using this. Sorry, I've not been... I don't know if I have a cold or if I just have a runny nose. But if I sniff or do anything disgusting, I apologize. Go GraphQL handler middleware to handle GraphQL through HTTP requests. That's if somebody's calling it, right? Lib to construct GraphQL server. I don't need that. A data loader implementation. What does it do? Oh, an implementation of Facebook's data loader. Oh. What is Facebook? Data loader is a generic utility to be used as part of the application's data fetching layer to provide a consistent API over various backends, reduce requests to those backends via batching and caching. Oh. Oh, somebody just rewrote it and go. Gotcha. They use GraphQL at Weave? Because I tried to get him to use GraphQL when I was at Weave, and they're like, nah. Yes. No, GraphQL is definitely best with JavaScript, and it's really fun. Like, I've, gone to QCon and stuff like that, and they're like, oh, GraphQL, it's so amazing, and I'm like... Yes, for the top layer of your tech stack, it's not really... super well-rounded for like a full stack. Like, I think it has a lot of potential for a full stack, like something to allow a dynamic querying of your language, but I don't think it's close at all. Like, I think it works in theory. I just think people like it because Facebook built it. I don't think it's... Anyway. We should get it. Okay, so essentially what I need to do... Whoo! You know, if I was at work, we would call it scraper.go instead of main.go. Should I do that? I really don't think that that's as readable as some people think it is. That's weird, artificial. I mean, like... I'm just saying, I know Clint was, like, gunning for it at one point, and then he kind of stopped. Because again, it has a lot of benefits. But it's not like... I don't know, I guess... Like I said, I think the Go implementation's fine, I think GraphQL is fine, I just don't think it's everything yet. I think there's a lot of way to go, and anyway, I know that every time I try to do anything in not REST, I would get fought to, like, for connecting with anything that wasn't backend, right? Like, even the NSQ stuff, I don't like NSQ for a lot of what we were doing on my team, and so, yeah. Moral of the story, I've never used GraphQL. Go... I think I need to update my Go version. Yeah, we do. We can just do that now. While I'm reading the stuff. Yay! ARM64 is what I have, because I have an M1 Mac. Wait, was that what I was supposed to push? Yeah, it was. Wait, I thought it used like a DMG or whatever. Oh, it does have it. Never mind. Are you done? Oh, yeah, it is. Previous installation detected. Well, that's good. I think the decoupling of front and back end is super helpful. Because, I mean, my team definitely didn't deal with a lot of front end stuff, but when we did, it was really, really painful. And it wasn't a problem with any devs in particular. It was definitely an organizational problem. Like, we didn't have a good way. They're like, you're blocking, you know, just those weird things. You're blocking us. No, you're blocking us. Oh, now we know what we want, so can you go back and do it? And it's like... Yeah. Yeah, Clint is supposed to speak at that next meetup. I don't know how Carson got him to speak. But no, it'll be a great meetup, and yeah, Clint's been coming to quite a few meetups. Look at all of these reminders that I have. I've set up so many of them. Okay, so now I can do go get. Oh, I already have that. Oops. Go get's no longer a thing. It's go install with latest. I knew that. Somebody needs to update. Is it V latest or at latest? At latest is what I thought. What does the meetup say? I thought meetup was the command. Is it meetups? Do I not have a command anymore? What are my commands? I don't, by the way, stream element commands don't exist. They're only Nightbot commands. Oh, I don't have it anymore. It's Follow Forge. Meetup.com. Your groups. No, it should be in person. Oh, I see. Clint just doesn't have a description because he's slow, which we should call him out for. It is in person at Weave. So hopefully we can get that from Clint and it's a little bit more up to date. It'll be a good talk. Clint, if nothing else, Clint knows his code generation. He definitely knows it for sure. Excuse me. CRUD, HTTP dynamics. Ooh, Star Wars. Oh, you just have to run this? That's garbage. Okay, so we need to figure out how to make a query. So I need to figure out what the schema I want is. Pro network might be what I want. Mutation. Oh gosh. Who wrote these docs? Because like you can't just. This guide to GraphQL, right? Working with photos, publishing to GraphQL, querying GraphQL. Like, I can't just copy and paste this. But it tells me how to curl it, which I guess is nice. Using OAuth 2 flow. I know I'm going to be using the OAuth 2 flow. And I'm going to be using the OAuth 2 flow with Kala. Because they do meetups. Like, they store the meetup tokens and stuff. Because I know Clint filled that. Wait, don't I get it for free, Clint? Connectors guide. Oh, where's Clint? Clint, where's your docs for meetup? I think he told me how to do it though. He like literally messaged me and told me what to do. So, okay. He did tell me how to do it, even though he should have docs on it. So, oh, we gotta do this, so I have all this. And then we'll get the token, and that's essentially what I need. And then once I have a token, I can put it as a header or whatever in the schema when I do authorization type bearer token. We got that? Does that make sense? Okay. What's up? You here, Lulu? Lulu, did you come say hi? Oh no, she left. I thought I heard my dogs come. You know, they like to come say hi. Querying GraphQL. No. Where was I? No, not you. Go GraphQL. I need the... No. Let's do our token first. We'll do a func get bearer token. And it says it rotates, so we should yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm technically on my work clock, so gotta make sure I don't do anything stupid. I'm trying to think of a DevOps. Who would be a good person for a DevOps day that we work with? That would actually want to go to events, because I work with a lot of people that are like super heads down and may not want to be like super going to different things. So yeah. I'm glad I checked when my workshop was. March 10th. March 10th is my workshop. So we want to get a bearer token. I don't know, but we're going to return a string because I want it to be string bearer blah blah blah. Nope. Call it API key. So the API key is what I need to pass in. Okay. Actually, I really don't need to pass it in. This is not going to slow me down that much as long as I'm like, don't wipe out. Like, how ephemeral does it need to be to the point where the service keeps running, but the environment variables delete themselves? Is that even possible? That's my question. How possible is that? So I could just leave that in the background. We're gonna instead of calling it KC, which I don't know what KC would be, we're gonna call it meetup API key, which I have one, so that's good. Meetup API key, customer token, and customer name. Not that those are super secret, but they're not mine, so os.getinv meetup meetup token. We're gonna call it meetup account username. Let's call it meetup username. Meetup username. And then 10:30 a.m. It's a great time. Great time. Fantastic time. Is anybody else excited for March 1st because they're going to be releasing a whole ton of Legos? Go Dev monthly. Oh, F. I wanted to go to the breakfast. Maybe I'll have to leave early. Oh, it's at 8 a.m. I don't want to go to Salt Lake at 8 a.m. That means I have to leave at 7, which means I have to get up at 6. Who? It's no fun. Okay. Where am I? Meetup username. Okay. Get customer token. And then, oh, and an error. Looks like we should do a string and an error. So one thing that's been popping up at work a lot, which, if anybody is online, I want your opinion on it, is this idea of returning booleans when something's retrievable. And I'm not saying we're returning booleans instead of errors. That's not necessarily the case. But just saying this was retrieved or this was successful boolean. I am a super big fan of having the presence of an error do that. I'm pretty sure I have limited. I don't remember returning booleans very much in my career. As far as saying, like for this, instead of returning an error, I could log error and then return false and be like, boolean, like the error was not there. Instead of using the error to handle it. Which, again, may be a good option. I just don't. I'm in such a mood to always just return the error. I guess I don't like logging the error at the lowest part. I always like passing an error up and logging it at the highest part, giving me a weird stack thing. I don't know. I just want, if anybody has any opinions on returning booleans. There we go. I was like, I am missing something. There we go. Return. We want to return sprintf. This would be bearer space token. Like just like that. And this would be consumer token. Comma, no, stop, no. No, just like that. That should work. And then I can just to make sure that, oh, I'll also need to go get that Kala library. So we'll call it bearer token equals dot equals. If you were writing it in Rust, you would say, yeah, just like, you want me to stretch? What did you think it said? I guess my comment, like, for this case, instead of returning an error, which isn't, again, I'm not saying this is the ideal use case for it. I'm just saying if I could, instead of returning a string error, I could return a string boolean, right? And like right here, it doesn't make sense because we're getting errors returned here. But like if I could do something like if API key, which actually is a check I should have, right? Like if I only cared about returning that API key itself, instead of doing an error, right, I could just do a return and then the string value, right? So this would be return something and then false here, right? As in we didn't get it, as opposed to true. And then true if we did get it. Instead of having the outer layer check the empty string, we're checking it on the inner layer. But I should also, this should return an error. Again, it doesn't make sense in this case because I have functions that get error responses. And so the error itself, the presence of the error is the Boolean. But in other cases, like, I always think to check the empty string on the top layer. I'll stretch. Well, that's a good stretch, actually. Anyway. And then here it would be, I guess the comment is, what do you do if there's not a need to return? Huh? No, right here. If there was no error being passed up, then would it make sense to just return the token? Or do it later? And that's why the first state, like, do you remember when they did the go try catch proposal? And it was like, with the go try catch proposal, how it was insane. Anyway, nobody likes it, so I like direct error handling as well. And I like to... There we go. So, Copilot works on my other computer, but it doesn't work on this one. And I really like it doing error stuff for me. Okay. If I run this, it should fail, because I don't have anything set. This is not what I wanted, also on line 23. I wanted those to be 2 unique values. Speaking of Python, I went to a data conference, and usually when I go to Go events, I bash on Java for no reason. So I went to a data conference, and I bashed on Python for no reason. Do I hate Java and Python? No. I just felt the need to be the dissonant voice. And oppose everything, which I guess I did. I do that every once in a while. Kind of fun. Okay, so if I run this, I should get an error. Oh. Nobody ran a go mod init. Hey, Todd! I was hoping you'd join, because I was literally about to say maybe it was the lack of Todd's presence that caused me to be the naysayer at the event. So, what the heck did they blacklist? Excuse me? They should never have done that. What the heck? I'm gonna go turn off that moderator, because that was rude. Where is it? Spam protection? Ooh, should we see what words or phrases were, like, literally, this is options. Java's blacklisted, that's why. That's awesome. I'm not... yeah, you got moderated because Java is blacklisted. We don't use Java. You said Java. That's it. Java is blacklisted. Who is they? In what reference? I didn't hire... It's the Nightbot's moderation tool. That was it. So the Nightbot moderation tool, all it has is a text match. And it text matched the word Java because I have blacklisted Java. I do not want anybody talking about Java on my chat. I thought it was funny. I think it's hilarious. I just forgot I'd done that. Because, Uh... Todd, you should appreciate my moderation. Also, yes, when I was at the... I was talking about how when I was at the Day-to-Day Texas, Todd, I unnecessarily... unnecessarily bashed on Python. I literally said that data engineering would get solved if we just quit using Python. And my comment was, I just had to be that negative because you weren't there to be the negative Nancy. No, it shouldn't ban you. Oh, it just times you out. So, 28 messages were deleted by the moderator? That's hilarious. No. Artificial, you have been placed on a 600-second ban. That's 10 minutes. For how many times you said the word Java. That's hilarious, actually. I hope you don't feel offended that that's what the actions that took place, but... Call a Connect. Installing Call a Connect. No, I don't have to install it. Clint said so. I just have to get the Go library. Okay. Data engineering would be solved if they just used Rust and learned how computers work? Yes. That was kind of my point. No, that's not what I wanted. I mean, especially... after the talk on how having any kind of API contracts would increase come on. I just want the terminal background to not be so transparent. There we go. Why are we calling? Is this a paid stream? No, we're not calling. It should have been sponsored. I should have made Clint sponsor my stream. No, the reason we're calling is because this... We are calling because... I need to access the Ford Utah Pro account. Clint owns the Ford Utah Pro account, and he said, I'll give you the tokens to access it via Kala. That's literally what happened. The end. Oh. Looks like somebody doesn't have everything they needed. And why isn't the log package imported? Oh, is it because I need to do log.fatal? Yeah. Oh. I was gonna just print the length of it to prove it existed. That's what I was doing. Which should be 0. Or not even print at this point. No, I definitely should have... What did I do this time? On line 23. KC, new API key, no. No. Error string should not end with punctuations or new lines. Ha 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 ha! I copied that from the docs, guys. Their docs did log fatals though, so my linter did do that, so I cannot blame the Clint's API docs today. Good, that's what I wanted. It's exactly what I wanted. So let me go. Is it weird if my head gets cut off in what's supposed to be my office? What did I call that? I forgot what I called that. What did I call it? Artificial Kentuckian, yes. Oh, thank you for that follow. The original stove, I appreciate it. I see it. You guys have the 20-second delay, not me. So, as long as I don't get off my chat screen, we're good. So, if my head gets cut off, it just looks like it's floating into the... Otherwise, if my head's not cut off, it literally looks like I'm just sitting in my office, except for the floating mic. Layful! Thank you for that follow. We appreciate it. So I mean, let's just say the penalties for mentioning the blacklisted Java word, which is Java, are severe. It's blacklisted. It's not allowed on this chat. Okay, let's see. I just added everything to the background. Oh, that can be a little bit bigger today. Oops. So let's see if this works. So we should now have a length. It should just print a number. Wow. My bearer token is, plus the word bearer and a space, is 889 characters. That works. That means the Kala magic works okay. Until I accidentally open my .secrets file. Now I gotta figure out how to make a header with the Go GraphQL garbage. Right? Hello, Kala Connect. I don't need that because I get it for free because I'm using Clint's. For anybody who's not local to Utah, Clint is a business partner of mine. Should we say that? We own a nonprofit together. I filed all of the paperwork to reinstate the nonprofit as a viable company in the state of Utah, and Clint's name is the acting agent, so. Hello! Hi, did you come to say hello? Yeah, today, hello. Hello, Twitch. My name is Lulu, and I'm a black dog. And I am outside, so I come say hi to Mama. Yeah, you having so much fun barking with Mr. Max? Have you been barking with Mr. Max? You could just need to come say hi to Twitch. Come say hi, yeah. Okay, you gonna go? Good girl. You gonna go get Max? You gonna go get Max? Oh, you're not done? You need to come sit with Mom? Yeah, you need to come sit with Mom? Fight Stick. Thanks for that follow, Fight Stick. Glad to see you here. Todd, are you saying you have diplomatic immunity? I don't understand. Wait, Todd. Why can you say Java, but Artificial can't? Is it because you subscribe? Does that mean that subscribers get to use banned words? That's a good question. We should test this. That means I need more than 2 subscribers. Oh, so you're saying Todd has diplomatic immunity because Todd can say Java. I get it now. I am now following what's happening on chat. Yes, Todd has diplomatic. I guess there's some perks to, there are some perks to being a subscriber, and one of those things is you can say Java in chat and bash on it publicly instead of in private. It's funny though, Todd. Maybe you because you actually it always seems like every time we go on a Java bashing at a meetup, you're the only one that's ever has a reason to actually use Java. So you may hate it, but you still use it. Whereas I pretend to hate it and don't use it. Because I can't say I have used it enough to have hatred. The original stove. Ew, Java. Nope. The original stove does not get moderated for saying Java. What the heck? Did Nightbot unmoderate Java? If we go to spam protection, blacklist words or phrases, options, no, Java is still there. What the heck? Oh, look at that. I set that. Let's just make it 60 seconds, because that's big. You just... The only thing people listen to Todd about is when Todd tells them to hate Java. Yeah. So I don't know how that works. Yeah, it said it should be testing. So, like, it's Java-ing. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know how this blacklist works. Uh-oh. There we got one. Fight sticks. We don't talk about coffee-inspired languages in this channel. He said Java star and then was blacklisted. So, there is something about Java something. Java something gets banned. But it's selective. So clearly this moderator is not a good text parser. They should rebuild it using ChatGPT, obviously. What if ChatGPT generated chat messages for me? That would be fun. A ChatGPT chatbot? Somebody should add that to my list of projects. Go GraphQL. I want the Go GraphQL docs. Go GraphQL. Go GraphQL. Go GraphQL. Where's your glitter join chat? No, I kind of really just want this. Oh, they don't have any examples in this. What the heck? I guess I didn't just want this. I just also want this. Oops, what did you say this time, Todd? JavaScript should also be covered? JavaScript is, because it's Java star. So that means anything, it should be any word containing Java. Oh, so it stops reading it. So if you say Java within the first however many characters, it bans you, but not if you say it within the end. Gotcha. So there is a graphql.do. Okay, so I need to make a scheme. Excuse me. Make a query. A robot that doesn't shut up is called a chatterbox. That's like a dad joke. That's not a future joke. That's funny though. I think it's a funny chat box. That would be funny if you could. That would be a fun project to create a Chat GPT Twitch chatbot that interacted with chat and got chat talking. And then every time it said something wrong, we could moderate it. Every time it talked about Java, it would get moderated, obviously. Whoa. This is really weird. I am now navigating... Oh, yes, it's because GitHub has weird bindings. GitHub has, like, Vim-style bindings now for navigating things. I knew that. They keep trying to secretly hijack the browser and do new things on GitHub. So I need to make a scheme. So we need... Make... Make GraphQL. That's not how you spell GraphQL. GraphQL query. Execute GraphQL query. So I have a meetup tomorrow. This is a very highly anticipated meetup because it was supposed to happen in November, and now it's happening now in February. Anyway, it's MLOps and why you should do it. It'll be interesting. And the reason it's going to be interesting is because I run the MLOps meetup here in Utah, and I actively avoid MLOps topics on the internet at this point. So it's like I go there and I literally know nothing. If people come ask me questions, I'm like, pass. Clearly, I do Go all day. Like, Go is a great operational language. MLOps isn't really operations, though. It's like software, infrastructure as code. MLOps is infrastructure as code. That's all it is. Fields, GraphQL fields. Okay, I'm gonna copy all of this. Todd, I agree 100%. I agree that the idea of operate data ops, ML ops, any other kind of specific operations is not any different. Well, I mean, it like if you talk about ML ops, you talk to ML ops practitioners. They're not doing DevOps. They're not doing traditional operations. They're doing infrastructure as code. So like, I mean, which some people say is DevOps. Like, this is even more high level. This, like, I feel like is like so abstracted. I wanted to say so abstracted a data scientist can do it, but that's just rude. But Yes, I didn't read your comment. Normal stuff if you aren't in some hyped up nonsense company, but alas, also true. I feel like SaaS marketing defines our culture more than we think it is. So something that is just engineering, right? Engineering. Software engineering, engineering by definition is the applying scientific methods to construct. I don't know what the definition of engineering is. This is the Mariah definition of engineering, but it would be applying scientific methods to sales ops and edges. The original stove is exactly on point. You're right. So if engineering is using scientific methods to construct or build things iteratively, right? Like the Romans engineered things. They built something, they saw it didn't work, they improved upon it, made it better, like that iterative building process. The reason I don't like saying applying the scientific method is because engineering existed thousands of years before the concepts of physics that engineers pride themselves on now. So it's like engineering is not using scientific methods. It's literally building things in an iterative way to build structurally long-lasting and sophisticated architectures or buildings or infrastructure, whatever you want to call it. So software engineering should be the same thing. The methodical development of techniques for infrastructure or stacks or development or software, whatever you want to call it, that builds more stable and better software products or software or infrastructure or whatever we're applying it to. So that general term of software engineering can be applied to anything that is built using software. Machine learning built using software, data systems built using software, front-end systems are built using software. So I agree with you, Todd. 100% that is true. But that doesn't sell. Hot terms sell, right? So we need these fire-ignitey hot terms in order to sell all of our VC-backed companies. So MLOps is just a marketing thing. DevOps, Agile Ops, Sales Ops, Marketing Ops, all of it is... Data science is different. Science is different than engineering, though. So I'll agree with you there. I do think, and people don't key into this as much, I think computer scientists are different than software engineers, and data scientists are different than software engineers or data engineers or whatever kind of engineer you want to do it, because they're scientists. Scientists do research and explore things using the scientific method. They're not engineers. Oh, Todd, remember back when I studied, let me tell you, I developed this, I enjoy history. I'm not going to say I'm a history buff because I don't focus my time on memorizing those things. But when I studied physics, it was interesting to take this philosophical step back because I interacted with a lot of engineers that were so proud of how much physics they knew. And I'm like, engineering, especially mechanical engineers, they think they are masters of physics. And I'm like, no, the original stove. Thank you for that subscription. Oh, it warms my soul. I'm so glad for your support. I'm now one step closer to getting my gaming computer so I can run Windows and Linux subsystem for Windows. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yes, these mechanical engineers. I know physics because I'm an engineer. It's like injecting physics into engineering happened in the 1960s. Engineering existed for thousands of years. Like they've been engineering since the pyramids, right? And scientists, yeah, they've been doing experiments and existing alongside them, but we did not integrate the two until modern, like literally modern times. So engineers saying that they understand science really ticks me off because it's a different process entirely. Yeah, we've injected it, and yeah, you can base some of your techniques on science, but it's not the same. Scientists are very different. And so another reason why I don't like data scientists doing anything with production is because they shouldn't. They have a different field. They're not engineers. They're not building that stable, reliable system. They're running experiments. So just like, what do you call it when you base things on words? So it's not by definition, but like, it's not like It's not philosophically, it's not philologically, it's not ergonomically, it's whatever, something. Based on the context of the words alone, you can't say they're the same things. I would say developers are a lot closer, like even if you use the word like real estate developers or construction workers are also developers, right? They're building things, they're iterating on that. It's a much closer word to engineer. Scientists are not. They're completely diverged. Anyway, there's my rant. Let's go back to building things. So as a trained physicist or trained scientist, right, I have a degree in physics, I have known for a long time that I am more of an engineer. I've always thought like an engineer. I like to iterate on a little bit more brute forcey, but still kind of refining processes. Not so much doing experiments and understanding results, but building things that can create real-world effect. So yeah, I definitely think like an engineer. I don't think like a scientist. So there you go. There's my rant for today. Anytime you want me to dive in between the semantical reasoning, there's the word, the semantical reasoning behind my opinions on engineering and science, happy to apply that to any field. Operations is interesting. I don't have any opinions on that, but JSON, Marshall, failure. Failed. This is not failed. Failed. Because we're engineers, right? I don't call myself a developer. I call myself a software engineer. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit more pompous. And I think web developers is fun. I think there can be web engineers. It just depends on what level of the stack you live on. Like, I think there can be front-end engineers. I definitely agree front-end is complicated, so I don't like this idea of web developers versus software engineers. I think that's semantically broken. But I do think there are people that develop things as opposed to engineer things. I definitely agree that that's a thing. If you ever want, just look at the history of structural engineering. I think that's a great foundation, especially structural engineering in Europe, just because we have so much historical record of that. They definitely had the similar practices in the Far East Asia, like very similar, well documented. It's just not in Romance languages that we like to read. But if you look at European the history of structural architecture in Europe, it gives you a really good trace from essentially Greek Roman times through the Renaissance, and which is when they first started doing science as opposed to engineering. And you'll see how many times they failed to live up to Roman engineering and how engineering changed through that failure. It's really interesting. So I do think, again, which is another thing that we've talked about before, the importance of failure. Failing fast is a thing, which is an interesting thing, but I think engineering without failure does not happen. I'm missing a comma. Where? I am, because of the F. Plus V. Error. Missing a comma before a new line. No, I'm not. Yes, I have things that aren't defined, like schema and query, but I'm not missing a comma before the new line. That's ridiculous. I have a lot of bots running, I apologize, but I've got a lot of things happening, so I guess I don't apologize. So what the heck is a GraphQL scheme? GraphQL fields. Oh, those are just defined normally. Oh, that's a good proposal. I should read that for work. That applies to me. I'm not gonna access that though. No, I will. Remind me about that tomorrow. I have to say, remind me about this, or else I won't read it, and I need to read it, because it's very important to me. tomorrow. See, I pay attention to work when I'm streaming. Sometimes. DJ Khaled says, bless up, comma, don't play yourselves. So, I think that means you're worth it. And everything about you is worth it. So fields got GraphQL and then a schema config and a new schema. So these are all things that have no meaning to me right now. But they have meaning to somebody. And then this also does not have any meaning to me. But let's pretend like it matters. What the F comma do you think I need? No, I don't need a comma there. I don't need a comma there. I don't need a comma there. I added it. It's right there. Look, there's your comma. Don't need a comma there. If error does not equal nil, what's wrong with that? Doesn't need a comma there. He also said another one. Yes, DJ Khaled has some sayings. I'm really confused as to why this is hating on me. I think I found a hair in my thing. Okay, I'm gonna ignore you for now. Because I don't know what the difference is. Okay. GraphQL fields. Okay, so something about a schema. Querying GraphQL. What the heck? GraphQL schema. What the heck? Yeah, but your guide doesn't tell me what the schema is. It just tells me what the variables are. So I'm trying to understand. Clearly, I need to understand more about what a Line 71 isn't an if statement. That's my problem? Oh, that is my problem. Thanks, Todd. All better. Yeah, I agree. I think you're right on there, the original stove. I think the good comment is, what do you do if something doesn't exist? And are you actually having build versus buy conversations? I think definitely where I work, we are all engineers. We do build a lot. We're building a SaaS product, so that's very good. What kind of a SaaS product? But we definitely do build first, always, instead of buy. A dev and engineer do get paid the same. That is true, Todd. So we are not recognized as having unique skill sets and unique thought patterns. Actually, I don't know. I've never heard of a principal developer, but I have heard of a principal engineer. So at what point is there a point where the differentiation matters? Right? Like, I've never heard of a staff developer. I've heard of a senior developer, but I've never heard of a staff developer. They always throw engineer on there. And again, Todd, you've brought that up before, that once you're a staff engineer, you should be able to go from top to bottom and build everything and do everything independent. Like, you should be able to do all of those functional engineering tasks. But I think sometimes leveling gets conflated into just, like, tenure, and it becomes a hard thing to manage. So then you end up in the same boat that they get paid the same, even though they do have a very different skill set. I think there are places where they just only want developers, and that's fine, but it is a very different skill set. I agree. And the original stove, to your point, I'm sure you found that there were times when you just, there would, whatever your title was, developer versus engineer, you're going to get a different level of satisfaction based on your interests. Right? I'm always going to be more fulfilled as an engineer than I ever would be as a developer, if you're going to go into those kinds of semantical distinctions between gluing it or building. At banks and stuff, why would I pay attention to banks? They're SEC regulated. But they're also the people that care about titles, right? I've hung out in so many startups, it's like... And startups don't always care about titles. They always, it's always, they start up, they hit that scale-up point, and then they're like, oh, now that we're a scale-up and hypergrowth, we should care about titles. And then everybody gets mad, because they're like, so now do I get paid less money, or do I get paid, So titles are always interesting things. But I do think engineering is very different than development. And I will take that to my grave. Even though I do casually use the word interchangeably in casual conversation, I never do it in written. Well, depends on the forum. If it's formal, I don't. And I would never... Hiring, I think, does matter. But casually, I do interchange it because... I don't know. I've never tried to be deliberate. Industry is industry. Well, I agree. I like that the phrasing. If you were with some of the people I've been hanging out with lately, they would say capitalism is capitalism, and I don't like that turn of phrase, because I think that's blaming a philosophy more than I think a practice. I think industry is industry, right? Like, when it comes down, money matters. Money matters, which is why I love it when people subscribe to me, because then I get another $2.50 a month. I think. I don't know what the breakdown is. But the more money I get, As long as I get enough money for Twitch to pay me, I get to write it off on my taxes. So just pay me, Twitch. All I need is $100 and I get paid. So thank you for the subscriptions for making my Twitch stream a tax write-off. Does that song go with the music? That would be funny. What would really be funny is if the music didn't go through my stream, it just went live to you like some of the Twitch ones do, so that it wouldn't, like, I wouldn't be able to match the music at all. That would be really funny. Okay, so what the F is a GraphQL field? So here, they have a query. Example variables, basic query. GraphQL queries return JSON with only the fields you specified for. You can do that with REST. Sorry. Authentication. That has to be somewhere over here. If I'm over here... No. Fields. Of course. Why would we want to give you a definition of what fields are? Stove? I'll call you Stove. That's fun. I would have figured it out. I probably would have ended up calling you OG, but I like Stove. God. When somebody is just ranting, take the subject of their rant and put in Boogeyman and see if the rant still makes sense. That, oh my gosh. I'm going to start doing that from now on. Next thing will be a chat GPT model, which would get overly complicated, that takes rant, that generates rant, and then just puts Boogeyman in there as a subject line. And I agree with you, Stove. You, at the end of the day, you need to just know what you want. And if keying off of words like developer and software engineer, OG Stove. If keying off of words like software engineer and developer helps you understand where you will be happy working, I think that is 100% the takeaway I want from this. 100% what we want. OG Stove. Does it tell you what you want here? Oh, a single hello type. The type is hello, the response is world. So they're building here. They're building their own resolve function. Oh. I don't think I need this, right? I don't need the schema part. I'm not defining my own schema. I need a schema. I just don't need this schema, right? So I will need a schema that they have over here. They say GraphQL schema. Which could be string, which could be, oh, that will be one of these, right? If I go to, what is a GraphQL schema? What is a GraphQL schema? That was because I used Q instead of a W. GraphQL schema. What time is it? Oh, it's only 2:20. I've got 2 hours. 2 hours before I need to take my dogs on a walk. GraphQL schemas and types. On this page, you will learn what you need to know about the GraphQL type system and how it can describe data and queries. What? Schema isn't... Well, why doesn't it say schema anywhere? If you've seen a GraphQL query before, I have seen it, but it's been a lot of years. You know that the GraphQL query language is basically about selecting fields in objects. For example, the following query. Hero name appears in. That makes sense. But I still need the schema. Most types in your schema will just be normal object types, but there are 2 types that are within the schema. Schema query mutation. Mutations work in a similar way. We define fields on mutation types or those available as root mutations of the field. Hero character droid. So what one is the mutation? So in the do method here, is there a do where I don't need a schema? Because the schema just kind of defines my expected response, right? Oh! Todd, for the win! GraphQL schema basics. Schema.graphql. Type, book, title, author. Type, author, string, book. Schema defined language, or SDL. GraphQL specifically defines human regional schema defined language. Gotcha. So basically, when I define a schema, I'm just saying what I expect the types to look like for Go. Apollo GraphQL. Oh, there was an Apollo Go one. See, somebody wrote that. What the heck is this? Is a misplaced Abercrombie and Fitch ad. Even though apparently these are people, it just looks like a misplaced Abercrombie and Fitch ad, and I really apologize for that. I don't want SQL Gen. Okay, but this is for like building a server. I don't need the server, do I? I just need... Okay. Oh, they're characters in Outer Banks. Gotcha. That's who our heroes are. Yeah. Gotcha. Gotcha. They're heroes! Heroes who are also models for Abercrombie and Fitch! I don't want to build a server. I don't want the server. I just want to query it. It's like, yeah, don't use Go to query this. Only use it to build the stinking server. What are our examples? Handle func. See, this is the back end. Test util Star Wars and then a string. Okay. R is the request. What's in test util Star Wars? All heroes are models. It's part of the job. I guess I'll never be a hero. I could be your hero, baby. I could wipe away the pain. You can't take my breath away. That was beautiful. I have a superhero cape somewhere in storage. So I do think I am a hero, even though I will never model. Because I hate cameras. Hate them! Star Wars schema. Okay, it's called Star Wars schema. So I do need to define a schema. Even though a handle func... This is weird. This is an endpoint that somebody hits. That's what I'm thinking. It would just be a post request with a query. It doesn't need a schema. I'm just really confused, I guess. I'm trying to find the do function. Oh, there it is. That's the one I want. The one with just params. That's what I want. That's what I want. GraphQL type schema to use when validating and executing a query. Oh, so yeah, okay. So you're right. I'm right too. I'm not wrong. I'm 100% right. So this schema thing is just essentially going to be the type that I expect to return. That's dumb. So if I go to Pro Network, the arguments are ID by ID. Event. Check if group username is valid. Well, I do have the ID. URL string required. Are these required responses or required fee? Event image. I want all of the events. What the heck? Self. No. So I only need to provide the ID argument. Okay. Okay. That's what it says. It says it's for validation and marshalling, but you can just do a JSON on Marshall, so there's no point. I'm just really... The docs are weird. I just am trying to understand the docs. But you're right. We're on the same page. So I just need a query. And in that query, I'm going to provide an ID. So... What do queries look like? Well, it says I need to provide an ID. Wait, didn't it say that it had some examples for me? Querying. Event, query, event ID. And then what I want. Gotcha. Gotcha. Somebody knows what's going on. We don't want this part. You can be gone. And you could be gone. So I want a query. And I want to query... I'm not querying event. I'm querying... Not event. I'm querying... Pro Network. And so that's what it looks like. Thank you. Pro Network. Nope. I'll go find my ID. I can't imagine a node dev. That's JavaScript. That's unholy in this chat community. I don't interact with enough node devs to be able to put myself in their frame of mind. Todd calling himself a visionary is completely and totally Todd. If you know Todd, you know that is Todd. Visionary of sorts. So I should be, no, organized by Utah Data and 2 others. No, it's not organized by Utah Data. Utah Data, give it up. It's organized by Forge Utah. Get over yourself. 'Cause I am Forge. See? Forge Utah. Oh, you can think like a node dev because you are a node dev. Wait, why don't you give me your stupid ID? Usually you have the ID just hanging out right here. Not that one. Where's your stupid ID? That means I'm gonna have to query self. Jacob is paid real American dollars to do node all day long? Oh my gosh. Response is user. Does user have member photo? Hosted events? No, I don't want hosted events. Is pro primary organizer? Yes. Great. That's fine. Where is your pro event? All I want is the key for pro. I'll query myself. That's fine. And by myself, I mean not me. Jacob is paid real American dollars to work at Node. I am so glad that I never had to do that. A node dev. An object-oriented programming dev that doesn't know the terms for their objects. Good to know. Good to know. It has a is leader, it has a is pro organizer, but why on earth does it not tell you what your pro organizer event is? Chats is required. Page info. Don't want page info. Wait, does event tell you what the ID is? Not group. What the heck is a group? Event. No, group is what I want. Does a group tell you what the is private? Is organizer? Group is an extension on an existing type. Great. I just want the pro network. I just want this. This is all I want. Is pro network on event or is it only on group? Group object is an extension of what? So you're saying I can't query, I want to query group by URL name. Okay. Response group. Okay, we'll try this so I can get the stupid ID. Oh, my camera froze. Sorry. Give it a couple minutes. Group by stupid URL name. This is the worst. Let me tell you. I didn't like the Meetup API before, and I still don't like it now. This is why Mariah built a web scraper. So, question is, URL name is used to identify the group on... I knew that this existed, Paul. Not Paul. Todd. Sign in with GitHub? Yeah, but I just don't want to share my auth token. I'm using Kala to generate my auth token. Remember? This is so fun. I think it's just this. Utah Gophers is my URL name. I don't think I need that. I knew that that was a thing. It's returning a group. And the only thing I want... Ooh, the only thing I want... Not logo, not latitude, is member, is private. No, the only thing I want is pro network. I'm sure there are more things I want, but right now the only thing I think I want, well, what I really want at the end of the day, what was there one? There was like event analytics, group analytics. I will want this. But there's a way to get like everything I want, yeah, from the Pro Network Analytics. So at the end of the day, so here is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to scrape the API, Meetup's API, so I can get event analytics. Like, that's the end of the day what I want. I want to know how many of a pro organizer's events are holding, are happening, right? So if a pro group has 400 events, I want 400 groups. If a pro network has 400 groups, I want to know how many groups are having events. I want to know the frequency of their events. I want to know how many people are RSVPing to their events. That way I can confirm attendance later. I want to know, I don't really know if I care about age demographics and stuff. I want to know how early they're creating events. I want to know how often they're... Hey there, Raggy! How are you doing? Their REST version was probably better than this. It's GraphQL now. I hate the Meetup API. I've used it before. It's stupid, and they don't let anyone have access to it unless you're paying them for pro. When, to be fair, all Meetup organizers, especially, all Meetup organizers, will have a ton of benefit from this. Sorry, another work one. Thanks for joining as you grab tea in between meetings. We are having a whole ton of fun. I am having a whole ton of fun trying to figure out what on earth is GraphQL. That's not, no. What was the title of the stream? How the hell do you GraphQL? Wasn't that it? Because I wanted something that rhymed but was alliterated. But in case my mother was watching, I cleaned up the title. She never watches. But she always says she's going to. Okay, so this is all I want. So this is all I want. So now in parameters, GraphQL params. So, okay. So I can do go docs here. Go docs. Oh. Undocumented. It is not undocumented. I was looking at it on the website. So they have a schema. We only care about the request string, so I'll get rid of the stupid schema. Okay. Now, what I need to figure out, though, is how to inject the header. Todd already told me that somewhere in the chat before trying to explain to me how node devs think, which I don't know if I appreciate that or not. I do appreciate it. I need to understand how all developers think so that I can then differentiate that between how engineers think, right? Do. What is Uber's H3? I was not working, I don't know what it is, so definitely can't work with that. And no, this is definitely meetup. Do is obviously undocumented. Oh, what are the difference between params and execute params? Oh, interesting. Schema, root, interface, args. Not what I want. Directive. They've got to have, in one of their stupid things, right? They've got to have an example that's like... got how to... I'm sure you have to eject all of that garbage into the context with background current user. No. I have to figure out how to use the bearer token in Go. They don't... It's a way to organize the globe into hexagons. If you ever need a map, it works pretty cool. Ooh, I might need that. Asking the AIs to make up an API gives you a pretty good answer about the average expectation. I mean, yes. I am 100% not surprised if AIs make up most of the APIs. I mean, now that we have Chat GPT, we're just gonna find Chat GPT doing all of our coding and wonder why the world breaks. You know, if H3 is easier than GraphQL, good for them. But there we go. Context. Yeah, we've definitely got to do it with a context. I'm not surprised. That's how you do auth with the other thing too. gRPC. Well, I was literally talking the other day about some of our usage logs at work and how nice it would be to get regional understanding of usage and traffic across our network. And ways to obfuscate that, right? Like, we don't want to know where people's, like, physical coordinates are. Is there a way to group it? And if there's got to be some standard regionalizations for that. Params doesn't have context. Yes, I understand, Todd. I'm trying to figure out how to inject the header into the request. And it has to be with a context. That's my problem. But since params is not, like, super well defined, I don't think you do it on params. I think you do it somewhere else, and that's where I'm at. You see, that's where I'm at to see if you know. All of the things, just all of them. Hey, the Code Savage! I could anonymize it down to 10-mile precision. Thanks, Todd. I know how to make a context. Hello, the Code Savage. I just want to know where in this mother flippin' life... I don't know. That was a bit extreme. I just want to know what part of the params, what part before do... Where before do am I putting in this stupid context? Right? Because the context should be part of the request. So, you know. Context, not background. Thanks, Todd. I know how to make a context. I feel really slighted by that one, Todd. I feel some seething, slaps. How you doing, Code Savage? It's okay, you're just fine, Todd. I'm kind of being a jerk back. As you shouldn't, especially if you're working with Node devs full time. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean that. Jacob is much more qualified. I know, context is not used. We do all have weird gaps. That is definitely true. Oh my gosh. Can somebody just take me to graphql.do so I see where they pull out their stupid context from? I mean, I know... They have to have it. They have to have it somewhere, right? Like at some point. They're making an HTTP call. There it is. Look, context is in params. We're good, Todd! We're good. We're good. And then where was my stupid with auth? It's context.with auth. With value auth token. Got it. 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 Authorization, not auth token, authorization, because that's what Todd said. No, I think you do have to do this first, and then you do ctx equals ctx dot with value. No, that's not how you spell value, that's how you spell valiant. Authorization. Bearer token. That says bearer token. Bear. Should we leave it bear token? That's like super not readable. It would be kind of a funny joke. Uh-oh. Bearer. What? Where am I using bear token? Right there, in length. even though I don't need that. Context with value is undefined. It's not. I looked at it right here. Right to her. Oh, where is my thing? Right to her. Oh, I should have done it the other way. Uh-oh, more chat GPT code. Oh, we can get rid of that then. I asked GPT to use the GraphQL Glow client with a bearer token authorization. They have provided me a full HTTP request via the context request key with authorization header set, lol. Valet, the new vodka from Austria. Yes. Is vodka... I have a question. Clearly, as the alcohol connoisseur that we all know I am, is vodka distilled from potatoes? Somebody commented about that in some Irish sketch somewhere I was watching on YouTube, and I was like, what? Is that true? Because if it is it also true that, since the potatoes came from Peru, Peruvians are then responsible for Russia's biggest alcoholic export and clearly biggest claim to fame for the most Americans? Because, I mean, like, we pretty much hate Russia for everything except for vodka. I say that facetiously. That was very facetious. Do not take that out of context. Oops. This is Twitch. Everything's supposed to be taken with a grain of salt, right? What? Okay, so it can be distilled from any starch. Thank you, Todd. But doesn't the starch affect, like, the flavor change based on the starch? What? What did I do wrong here? Did nothing wrong. Oh, it doesn't like what I did, though. Should not use built-in type string as key for value. Oh, yeah, it doesn't want me to do that. Thank you. Thank you for taking my comments out of context and making me seem like a horrible person. That's what we all want. Yes, I know I shouldn't do that, but I'm doing it anyway. Let's see if this compiles. Oh, it does compile. Should we see if it runs? Uh-oh, it failed. Why did it fail? Oh, there's a syntax error in my GraphQL. Isn't that why Todd wanted me to go use the thing? Who broke my query? Oh, I did. I know I did, but I broke. Oh, there's definitely not enough things. Not enough things in my thing. And by that, I mean curly braces and indentations. Not enough. Do they care about white space? Oh, good! It worked! There's no data, but it worked! Something worked. Something worked. There's no data for URL name Utah Gophers. So what the F is our URL name we actually want? I can do an event. And I think, in theory, where's my API doc? Event should return the URL name that I don't know what it is. Event URL, that would be good. Okay. Because I have an event ID right here. So that's the event ID. And so let's go with event. If not, then I'm gonna blame Clint for giving me an invalid API token. And so what do I want for this event? Because I can query many things from an event. I want calculated identifier. I want title. I want event URL. I want description. I want group. Why not? Just like a bunch of random things. ID. Token. What's it called? Event URL? Group. What does going show? Number of participants? Let's try going to. Group is lowercase. There's no way that's uppercase. Uppercase! Okay, whatever. Interesting. I know that's a thing. And it says there's no data. Wait, didn't it give us, like, an error last time? My question is, they have a whole bunch of these... Oh, we could just check if URL name is valid? Let's see if that's a thing. Sorry, I should have done that first. What's... Oh, I mean, I'm also... It's Utah Gophers. Utah Gophers. Utah Gophers. And what I want back is valid URL and error. Oh, is there always an error option? Is it called group URL? No, just URL name? Okay. Okay, that still was empty, which means I don't have access to that. Ugh. Okay, let me just double check something. Oh, this is no fun without my camera. My camera good to go? There we go. Hey guys, I'm back. With my floating microphone. So everything looks right. Everything looks right. Yeah, my camera just gets... Not the camera. It's not the problem with the camera. The problem is with the HDMI... the camera capture. It gets overheated, and so I have to unplug it. And it only needs to be unplugged for like a minute. And it's... doesn't get overheated from the camera. It gets overheated from the dock I have. So it's the dock's fault. So I am back. So I don't think that my query is the problem. I think that my keys may be the problem. So there's a couple of options for that. One, I could be switch accounts, which I could use my GoBridge credentials. But then I'd have to upload those to Kala. Or just, anyway. Clearly, I'll have to do a couple of things differently. And now I am officially out of drink. So let's do a query for self, though. Where's the self endpoint? Excuse me. Oh, I can just do self and it can be blank. Let's do membership, tickets, ID, and name. And it should say Clint Berry. So for this, I would say self. There's no query parameters. Self. Memberships. Tickets. Does he even RSVP for meetups? ID. Have you validated that the GraphQL client is indeed using that token? The engineer makes me wonder there's a failure point as well. That's kind of what I'm trying to do. I have validated that the bearer token is correct and that it returns. So like this is the correct token. We are not getting any errors on our do request. So that's fine, and we're not getting any errors on our unmarshal. We're not unmarshaling. But yes. I'm just trying to make sure that the token returns something at this point. Like, that's literally what I'm doing. And this is a pretty, self... Still no data. Dang it. Lulu! You come back, see Mama! Hi! How are you? Your face is cold. Have you been outside? Have you been outside, Lulu? Yeah, now you come see Mama. Say, Mama! Mama, it's 3 o'clock! Mama, it's 3 o'clock! She's getting very excited. She wants to. We usually go on a walk between 4 and 4:30. So she's saying, "Mama, don't forget about me. Mama, don't forget about me. I have needs, and my needs are to go outside." Actually, it's probably time for me to take them for a potty break. So let's do that. Let's do I have that set up right here? I do have that set up right here. I'm going to go on a break. I'll be right back, and when we come back, so hopefully you won't all drop off, and I apologize for that. I just need to take my dogs out and blow my nose and get another drink. So I'll be back. I'm going to run a 3-minute ad. Please don't leave forever, but you can do whatever you need to during that 3 minutes. And I will be back. Okay, we're back. I'm really interested as to why we're getting no data from this. I hope that ad break was satisfying, that you got a nice ad for Taco Bell or something. Secrets. This sounds like Pirates of the Caribbean music. Mariah query. Okay, so question is, why is this not querying? This feels like Pirates of the Caribbean music. Oh, the song's called Seven Seas? I don't even pay attention. Oh, they found the Pirates of the Caribbean overture and stuck it in there. So the question is, if a speaker for a meetup has not provided me with a description of their talk, is it within my purview? Is it within my purview to generate a description for their talk using ChatGPT? That's the question. How accurate will the ChatGPT description of their talk be? Okay. Right, so we know if it's an empty string, it won't be there. We know that the token needs to say bearer. What else do we need? Does this API doc say I need for authentication? I need a content type. I don't think I need that. Maybe I do need to add a content type to the header. Should I try that? I think it defaults to content. Right, I'm doing this. Essentially, I'm doing this exact same thing. So, if my token works, this should run. So we're doing the same thing. So let's simplify it and just do ID and name. Marketing fluff or memes. Tell me how a meetup description is not marketing fluff. What part of a meetup description is not marketing fluff? I mean, it's not like, I don't know. Right? Right, that's okay. Straight up. Self ID name. Okay, authorization, bearer, and your token, which is what I'm returning. Bearer space my token. I spelled bearer right. I did spell bearer right. Let's add another context just to say we did. What did the Savage Coder say? Tell me about name and their conference talk title. Oh my gosh, we should just write, instead of writing calls for papers, CFPs for conference talks, I should just have ChatGPT generate them, and I bet 100%. Should work, right? Well, I mean, ideally, I would always get a description from the speaker. Ideally, that would always be the case. But what about when the speakers are too slow? What about when when they haven't given it to me yet, but I want, like, they're like, give me 2 days, but I want to announce it today. Like, as a temporary placeholder, I think it would be worthwhile. Right? Again, I don't think it, like, the more high scale, the more professional, the bigger the event, I think the less that would be appropriate. But for meetups, yeah, I saw your thing, the Savage Coder. But that's not using this library. That's the only difference, is it's not using this library, and I want to use this library. I want my life to be easy. I want my life to be so easy. Okay, so now we're doing this. I mean, and what you're doing is no different. Oh. I never provided a URL, did I? Not one time. I have a do and I have a params. I have a request string. But it's not pointing to anything. Does it magically get that from the auth header? Like, there's no way it does that. I didn't see any of the code from the library though on your thing. The only thing it says is new request with a post. Like, I don't see any library code. It doesn't... These examples are the worst. The schema's gotta be... Where... Right, they have a curl and a post. aw.api.graphql. It's gotta be in the schema somewhere, right? It's gotta be in the schema somewhere. Unless well, I mean, I am definitely HTTP post. What? This is an X. A validate document, validate FN. Okay, now I'm confused. Where does... Isn't there like a... When validating executing square, yes. A value provide the first argument to the resolver function map. The name of the operation used to request string. Multiple possible operations can be omitted by the request string. Yeah, Savage Coder, the picture I see doesn't use any of the stuff in the library though. So... Operation name. Basically, this has somebody writing an HTTP post and then they're transforming it into GraphQL. That's dumb. So yeah, I don't think I'm pointing it anywhere. It's just making an empty request to nowhere. So it's got to be part of params, right? Schema request string representing the value of the first argument of the resolver top functions. Thank you. That means I got a half hour. Well, it says that you can, like, if I were to take that This makes a schema. Makes a query. GraphQL test. Do they ever do a localhost? No. I wonder if somebody's already built this. If I did go GraphQL meetup API. Of course there's not. GraphQL meetup. GraphQL public API example. Well, self, it's well formed, but I ain't got no data. It's true. Does your self tell me where on earth to put the stupid URL? Because that's pretty much... I'm trying to figure out what param. I just want an example of how to put a parameter. I would really like this. Uh-oh. See, I'm just gonna go through this video, 'cause I create content. Great. Now show me how to do that and go. No. Go. Show me all your Go code. What URL? The API, this one? This one, Todd. I do not know that it's posting here. I don't think it's posting to api.meetup.com because I never passed that anywhere. I never defined that. Yes, this is his server. Oh gosh. Can you play it like 3 times the speed? Resolve. Yeah, but I don't know where to put. I guess I know where the URL is, but where do I don't. I'm trying to figure out where to put it in my code. See? It's right there. Like API doc say, here's your URL. Great. Now show me your stupid thing. I don't know. Yes, but this doesn't say server, does it? It just says Go GraphQL supports queries, mutations, and subscriptions. So if it supports queries, shouldn't I be able to make a query with this do? I just want somebody... Oh my goodness. I know. Yeah, but where's the code? Yes. But this doesn't... So this has a list of Go APIs at the bottom. This is for handling requests. And then these are for building servers. So this one does seem to do both. I'm just trying to figure out... I think it does both. I do. I just want to know where to pass the stupid thing to point at. Yeah, I know the examples I see are servers. This straight up says it does both. It does queries, mutations, and subscriptions. And yeah. So you're saying I still have to do a post. Hey, solid_M, thanks for that follow. Really appreciate that. Super nice. Glad to see you here. Glad to see you joining us, trying to figure out how on earth to query a public GraphQL API using Go. Ugh. Because somewhere I should be able to do that. Yeah, that's what this does. I don't think the query's the problem. I think I'm not pointing it anywhere. Right? So... Oh. Because I put it right here in the request string parameter, and that should handle it for me. Because this is literally straight up how they tell you to do your params. In the example, right? They said do it like this, and this hello would query this resolve func schema. So this is the server, and then this is the query for that server. I would just really like it to... yeah, there's one more thing that needs to click. Don't know where it is, but serving over HTTP, no. I just have one more thing that needs to click in my brain. So there you go. I've pushed the code up if you want to pull the code down. You can just do exclamation point code, and it's the only pull request open. If you want to look at the code. You won't be able to run it, but... See, but in that return value right here in fields, They're providing a function to resolve. And I don't think I need that. I think I just need to figure out where my endpoint is. What's this? How do I provide an endpoint? Right? Okay, I think we just have to do a basic post then. Right? That's really weird though. It's really weird that they have this do function that they don't have documented. That clearly doesn't actually... See, this is a subscribe for the subscription type. Yeah, do usually requires some kind of URL argument. And it's really weird to me they don't have a do. I mean, they do have a do, but that they don't... Okay, I have to handle the network level details, but I just want it to tell me that. Because if it doesn't say that, then its documentation is very ambiguous. I'm gonna sneeze. To do, nope, 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 nope. I mean, if that's the case, then this do function doesn't do a single thing. It's just a pile of garbage. It does seem, yeah, I agree. Okay, yeah, this only cares about the stupid schemas. You're right. I need to create a client and do it that way. With all the regular headers and stuff, a request. And if my stupid thing was working, it would do it for me. And by my stupid thing, I mean, my, there we go. I just need a default client, right? I don't need it anyway. Who was it that said don't do default clients? Yeah, I think I do need to write a raw post. It's new requests, right? But it's a nil body. Like, that stuff is... No, it's not nil. This is the body. This is a body. Isn't that what dash A means? Oh, the library's that old? Oh, dang. Guess GraphQL lost its hype. It's all just a pile of garbage. Hot garbage! I guess dash D usually means attach a payload. I don't know what dash D ampersand blah 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 means. Also, we might just not even use this library at all. Because we can just do query in front. Sorry. Set header or add header? It's add header. See, my autocomplete isn't even on. What the F is wrong with my Go stuff? Machine box GraphQL? What's this? Oh, of course there's this one. Should we just switch to this one? I like this one. This one makes sense. Yeah, let's do this one. That was back when Matt Ryer was doing stuff. I'm gonna keep the query though. Query's good. This is so much cleaner. Actually, yeah, we'll just get rid of that too. Well, 1 minute. So the key... We don't need anything for this. This is self ID name. They just, yes, well, if Matt Ryer did any of the writing, of course they talked about it on the Go Time podcast. Why not? Of course, no brainer. Let's make sure that we have the right import though, because this is gonna be stupid here in a minute. So we need to do quest.header. We have a context.background, which is fine. We don't need anything else in the context now that we're adding headers. Response struct. We don't have a response struct yet. But it would look kind of like this. Oh, I'm not doing a code-generated one. Because I just need to query it, right? I don't need... A code gen would make sense if, like, I could gen it off of this other type. JV Mono, thank you. Thank you for that follow. So glad you could join us and for hanging out here. Super fun day. Where does it expect a stupid expression? It doesn't like my auto-defined struct. Yeah, it should work. Clearly it's not what it wants. Why doesn't it tell me how to fix it though? Because my brain's clearly not thinking about it. Well, I got rid of one too many contexts. It's okay, Savage Coder. If you think in multiple messages, just type in multiple messages and I'll try and decipher it. Yeah, with the target schema. Like I said, it'd be great if you were defining your schema. I just don't know enough about GraphQL. Like, and then what if they change their API on me? Then would I have to change the queries or change the schemas? Oh, I'm not printing the response anymore, am I? Zero. I at least feel better now that I'm actually querying the correct API though. Should it be self and data? Like, how does a data self ID name? It's still better than was last time. Lots of nightbots. Look, it's just doing a basic post. It decodes queries and it decodes variables. So, this library is definitely nicer. Did it take my... Does this with JSON? Run with context, do... what about my headers? Takes a request. R equals new request, request body. Rec. It's not using my headers. See, it takes a request, which is a GraphQL request, and a context, but it doesn't... Why did they say they were setting headers in that example? Because that request is... Those headers are not being used. Request... There's no request.headers. We're at 119 through... Oh, okay, there it is. Thank you! I was about to search for req.headers to make sure. Header.add, okay. So it should use my bearer token then. Did I spell authorization right? It's the only one I'm using. Should we? And it's just putting them back into the response interface. It doesn't, where's it? Using this. I don't see this. DJ Khaled says hit bye to anybody that wants to stress him out. Oh, GR is data response. Gotcha. Gotcha. So GR, anywhere there's a GR, there's a response, which is good. Okay, so it does work. That's really interesting. I don't think I need this though. Do they have an example of how they're doing their response? No. Clearly, this example is muted. Not muted. Short. See, this is it right here, but they don't have the full file. So. Oh, yeah, because they sold machine blocks and made off with all their money. This also hasn't been touched in 4 years, right? Man. So, clearly nobody wants to maintain their GraphQL files. Because everybody's over it. Nobody cares about GraphQL anymore except for apparently Meetup.com, but they're already 10 years behind the curve, so. I'm out of time. Let me push this up. And then... does anybody want to... You guys want to vote on a raid while I push this up? Should we see who's online and you can vote on who you want to raid? You've been a fantastic audience. So we've got Automated, who's working on a 48-hour project to do. CM Griffin or Maddie Two Shoes. Let's do that. Isn't that how you do these? There you go. And then next time I stream, we'll just do this thing straight up with a regular or plain old HTTP garbage. Okay. There you go. Vote! Get status is an option. Get add all. Get commit dash message. This is going to be a point in time. Point in time commit. Testing different GQL libs. Thank you so much for all your help today, discovering what on earth GraphQL is. It definitely could be worse. Definitely could be worse. Some people really like it. Yeah, I agree, because it doesn't make sense server to server. It does not make a whole lot of sense. GraphQL. Does not make a whole lot of sense. Which is why GraphQL does not make a whole lot of sense as like a public API either. It is pretty, yeah, I guess my fault going in here today is going in there thinking that it would be worthwhile to use a library when I could have just built it myself. Yeah, it's so common for front end. Oh my gosh, Producer Wolf, thank you for the raid. We are literally voting right now on who we should raid. So feel free to jump into that poll right now and decide who we're gonna raid, because I am logging off so I can go give my doggos a walk. So yeah, please get your poll on. Oh, we got 2 for CM Griffing. Who set the time on this? Oh, we're out of time. CM Griffing wins it with that raid. So thank you. You guys have been awesome. You've been super awesome today. We have had a power of time, and we're so excited. So thank you for the raid of me, and now let's go raid CM Griffing and send him all the fun. Hi, Tiberius. Oh, Tiberius is great. So